Well, the need for a before and after school program was something that I felt personally to begin with. There was nothing that was really well organized, well positioned to be everything that most families would want.
I began, which was with the formation of a group of people that began a discussion about forming a YMCA in Fort Collins.
A YMCA seemed like it would fit very nicely in the Fort Collins community at that time.
Working parents for sure needed that, so there just wasn't the infrastructure for working families. And that's how I got in touch with the YMCA committee.
A group of us, as we were trying to get the YMCA off the ground, found out that that probably wasn't going to happen due to several factors.
Our discussions took us to the office of H.R. Phillips, the Director of Parks and Rec, so that when we got to his office and brought up the notion of a YMCA, he didn't do much deliberation. He basically said to us, "We don't need you." But somebody said, "Well then, HR, where are the voids? What do you think is needed? What are some areas that you haven't maybe provided for?" And that's when the whole notion of latchkey came up. Latchkey kids, these kids that don't have a place to go after school. He said, "I'm not sure as a community we've met that need."
And so that was kind of how it got started, was addressing the issue of latchkey elementary students.
You know, we have documented that there is a need for a before and after school program. And I think that we all believe in that concept, and so why don't we just become base camp?
We knew we didn't have a lot of money, that we would have to ask for like free rent, you know, and things like that, because we couldn't fund having it in the school and pay, you know, fees for the school. But we looked at it as a service for that school.
It became a school by school negotiation with the principal, because that is where it needed to take place.
Several years into my principalship, I was approached by Steve Schaefer, who was involved with, on the board at that time, of starting an after-school program. And of course, right away, I said, sure, we have a big need for that. We knew that there were a lot of our students that were going home to empty houses, and that they were being entertained by the TV or who knows what. And it just wasn't a very safe situation for our students.
And it just seemed like a good program. I liked the philosophy of the program. So it was really important to have a place where children could go from their classroom to the base camp room. So it was like an extension of their home.
When Linda came along, I think all of those things that we maybe individually were looking for and we as an organization were looking for were realized. And I think that's been proven now over the years.
You know, when I began with Base Camp, we had started the year before with 3 small afternoon programs. And that year we had 5, and we went to before and after school. And so that seemed like a big jump at the time, not realizing that every year for the next 10 or 15 years, we were going to grow 5 or 6 schools at a time every year. And that was a lot of growth, and really needing to worry about quality of programming, and that we were meeting the needs of families and children and the schools that we worked with. So as we grew, it was really at the request of the schools and the families.
And so the program really evolved into something where it wasn't just an after-school program. Eventually it was a before and after-school program. It was on Martin Luther King Day. It actually evolved into a summer program as well. So it grew over time to be very all-encompassing.
Preschool is a very interesting kind of thing. The preschools that we do are really programs that are located in areas where there aren't a lot of other resources for preschool.
Well, we say that base camp is affordable. And so we all know that all parents do not have the same sort of resources for childcare before and after school as well as the summer. And that base camp tries to meet the needs of the parents with their various income levels. And so a scholarship or a sliding fee affords the care for their children that they otherwise would not be able to on their budgets afford.
Our son loves it. He actually looks forward to it in the morning. Makes it easier to get him in and out of bed in the morning. Oftentimes he doesn't want to come home. He really enjoys it here. There's always activities, friends. Our son really likes it.
To have something that's based right here at the school and to find out that all of their services go towards core knowledge and what he's already learning in school, that was the biggest factor in deciding to place him in base camp.
You know, I helped establish this. I firmly believe in it.
I've always had a lot of respect for the program. I know it's grown over the years, and it's providing a great service in the community.
I just think it's a perfect fit to be able to keep the children right at the school where they're comfortable, they feel safe, they're with their friends, and it's a really healthy environment. So with 25 years of success and over 3,000 children as credit to what they've done, I would encourage people to use base camp.
Summer is the most expensive kind of service that we do. And one of the reasons it's so expensive is that we are providing the kinds of activities, the kinds of experiences for children, for all children, regardless of their ability to pay.
We find that in the summer camp there are more parents who are less capable of paying the full fee, and therefore in order to afford them and their children to have that kind of opportunity for the care and the activities all day long, the scholarshiping, the sliding scale is extremely important to them so that they have that opportunity for that child care. We expect over 340 children to attend summer camp this summer. Over 200 of these students will require scholarships this summer. Base camp needs over $325,000 to cover all scholarships during the year. And in order to provide the kind of sliding scale for summer camp students that we anticipate, we need over $75,000 for this summer. I think many of us need to help support the Base Camp summer camp program because the need is much greater in the summer than it is during the regular school year.
What happens if we don't get those dollars? And what happens is that children do not have the experiences that we want for them in the summer. Without families, without people in the community, without agencies who help support us in providing the dollars to do that, then those things are not available for children over the summer months. And the best thing that can happen, and we hear it over and over, is for a child to say to us, "Can we do that again?" And if we don't have the dollars to help support that, 60% of the children who come on reduced fees, they don't get that opportunity to ask, "Can we do it again?" Because they won't be there. It's a win-win when everyone in the community helps us support the dollars that are needed to provide the programming that the children truly enjoy and need, as well as their parents.